Hello parents, I hope we are all doing well. My name is Nkem Sinachi Ago and I'm the founder of the Montessori Home Education Academy and also the author of these books. I co-authored one of them with Dr. Chido Ezika, which is the first one I'm going to share. The purpose of this video is really to give us a look inside some of the books, because if you try to purchase it, you might not see what it really looks like, but just to show you some of the things that are detailed in the document, promoting bilingualism and why you should go for Igbo immersion. So this is Chidi Igbo. Learn Igbo alphabets the Montessori way. It's a bilingual book, so Igbo and English. So just a sample here. You have the ability to trace the letter with your child. That's a typical Montessori style to help them practice writing and also remember the sounds. You have how to say the letter. You have a picture, real pictures, and you also have the tone marks and even a transliteration. So this gives you, like if you're English speaking, especially those of us in diaspora, and for our children, they can use this to now guide on how to pronounce this as Aka. There's also a parent guide here that shows what the tone marks mean. So it's a very beautiful book, and this was our first. Okay. You also have the alphabet at the end of the book. So the complete Igbo alphabets. There you go. Okay, and the second book, Numbers, Onuogugu Igbo, a bilingual book of numbers the Montessori way. So again, we use the Montessori approach where you can trace the letters, count real objects. So this is just a sample with tone marks as well, and a guide on how to pronounce the tone marks. We're not using multiple pictures here. We use something as simple as apples, but then the child sees the number increasing. So apple is changing from 3 to 4 and they can count it. It's different when you have, banana, apple, orange, everything all over the place. The child may start wondering, are they looking at the fruits or are they looking at the number? But having it as just one makes a big difference, and you will see this when you use it with your children. You can also trace. Remember, being able to move, let the child move and trace with their hands helps them to remember and to retain what they are learning, and they can also try to write this out and count the apples as you go. So we have from 1 to 20 for a start, and then after 1 to 20 we equally have counting in 10. So we have the example of a banana in this case split into 10 pieces. So we now have, one bunch of 10, two bunches of 10. Again, this is a Montessori style where we count in 10. So 1 10, 2 tens. This is Iria Bo. You keep going all the way to 100. Which gives the child a visual that, okay, 100 is you can, when you break it into 10, it makes it easier than just counting 1 2 3 up to 100. Very good one. We have the numbers here again, and we have 100 charts. So this is why we say Igbo immersion. We're not just trying to say, okay, learn this, be able to use the numbers, but also actually learning, mathematics, actually learning language. And we'll get to the Anumano book where we have even some real science there. But before that, we have Agua, colors in Igbo. Another beautiful book. We have so the focus is on the colors. We don't have multiple names for the items because we don't want the child focusing on the vocabulary of the items at this point. We want the focus to be on the colors. So these are very intentional things done here. And as the parent, of course, depending on how good your Igbo is, you can begin to name these things later on. But the focus first is the colors. So this is why this is a color book. Obara Obara. Beautiful pictures. The beauty of these pictures is actually a big deal. Children really love things that are beautiful. And you'll be surprised, they love real items more than cartoon, especially when it comes to learning. It actually helps with them correlating it to real life objects compared to if it was something that didn't look, realistic. And then at the end, we still add some science here. They now go into mixing colors. So these are now activities you can do with your child. And as they're mixing the colors, you're saying it in Igbo as well. Here we even talk about Agwadina Egburugu, so colors of the rainbow, right? Agwa Asad in Egburugu, Nusora. So it tells you the order of the colors of the rainbow. That's why we're not playing. This is Igbo Immersion. Once again, we didn't just focus on learning colors, but being able to have activities you can do with your child. But the difference now is that you're going to be doing it in Igbo. And the last one we have here is Anumano, animals in Igbo. Okay, so here we have, we didn't just go into naming animals. We have the how to use the book, pronunciation guide. So here we talk about mammals. Anumanu nenye nwa ara. Right? So this is something, again, you can read with your child. Animals that feed their babies with milk. You might be surprised. This might even be their first introduction to mammals before they even read some other books or even learn it in school, because this has been so simplified. And the good thing with the Igbo language in describing these things is it's not just giving you a name like mammals. It's telling you what makes them mammals. So when you now do the translation, it explains it, and I still put what it is, but then they can now see, okay, these are examples. Omomatu, anumanu nenye nwa ara. So we have inyinya. Again, we have the pronunciation guide. Fish. So this is another class of animals. So vertebrates. I even talk about, vertebrates. Anumanu nwere ọkpụkpụ azụ. So backbone. This is in such a simple way. It's not, you'll be surprised that children can learn these things so easily. So that's why the Montessori twist that I bring to these books really makes a big difference compared to some other things you may be seeing or you may be familiar with, right? So again, the first motivation really was my own kids, trying to get them interested in the language with real books, real pictures, but also at the same time, because we have a Montessori home education program that we're following, which I run, I also want to make sure that they are learning the things they need to learn in terms of science at the same time, in terms of mathematics at the same time, and it's really helping them. They're enjoying it thoroughly. Children can learn multiple languages, especially between 0 and 7 years. But even if they're past that age, the real reality or the realness of these books really makes it easier for even older children to enjoy picking it up. Okay, so we'll probably talk about farm animals and wild animals here. This one is a bigger book, as you might notice. So it's not something you finish at once. But what I like is that every 4 animals or every 4 pages, there is a pause for you to now ask questions with your child or your children. Okay, ukwu ole ka anụmanụ ndị a nwere? There's a translation as well. So the child can now look at it with you. And then again, if you're able to speak it as well, you can even ask questions. Oh, lekwe kai go nka. You point at it, you touch it. And so we still have a lot more in progress. This video is focused on the Igbo books. We have the Yoruba version also being developed. But for now, this focus is on Igbo. And I encourage you to get your copies on Amazon. If you want bulk copies, maybe for your Igbo community where you are, feel free to reach out, and I'll be happy to support you with that. Yes, so I hope you get it. And please, if you do purchase on Amazon, kindly leave us a review. It would help other people to see these books. All right, take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day, wonderful time. Bye-bye.